Hello, welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast. How you going, under crap? Sorry about that. Welcome back to Mr. Arsenal podcast, as I say. Doing the same again, like we did last night, completely different to what we usually do. We're doing another watch-along. Again, not Arsenal related. It is the Championship playoff final between Huddersfield Town and Nottingham Forest. Again, another reason why I did last year with the playoff final. I did the watch-along for that last year. It's basically the reason I do this one out of all the playoff finals is because it basically affects the Premier League, because one of these two will be coming up and be a Premier League club in the next couple of hours. So, and knowing Arsenal's luck anyway, first game of the season be away to one of these two. So, yeah, teams are out just doing the national anthem stuff from the pitch, and then we'll get underway soon. So, yeah, mute songs I don't go for copyright. The camera's nowhere near, you can't go past. Right. Oh, my leg. You can tell she's permanent when she goes up. Oh dear. Anyway. Sorry about this, messing about the cat and all that, but it is what it is. Yeah, just to finish the national anthem. I've got Sandwich on there. There we go. Big turnout from both fan bases as well at Wembley, making the travel down from the respective parts of the country up there and over there. Nicholas is in goal for Huddersfield. Lee, Sarr, Carwell, Pepper, Tofal, Hogg, O'Brien, Thomas, Ward, and Sinani. There's the starting 11 for Huddersfield. Jordan Rhodes is on the bench. He's still playing. If you're on YouTube channel, by the way, do subscribe, do smash that like button, and do share the stream around as well, with as many platforms as possible. I'll be honest, I'm going to go the Forest teams up now. Here we go. Sanders in goal, Worrell, Cook, McKenna, Spence, Colback, and then Yates and Garner to pivot, Zenkanagel, Johnson, and Davis finish the lineup. Sam Savage, Lowe, and Cafu, and Lowly on the bench. I was about to say, I will be honest, I would prefer, not Fast 2 comes up, but I would prefer not the Forest to come up. I think that outside of Huddersfield as well. I think most neutrals are backing Forest, or are wanting Forest to come up today. Because obviously, at the two, most recently, Huddersfield have been up for the last few years, did 2 years stint and got put back down to earth. Switching. With Forest, they haven't been a Premier League club since 23 years. I'm trying to think, I'm 33, so they're 33, 20 years ago. Bloody hell. I was a kid, I was literally a kid. The last time not Forest was a Premier League club, basically. Was it even in the teens 23 years ago? Jesus. I've gone from my entire teenage 20s into my 30s now, where Forest haven't been a Premier League club. That's how long it's been for them. As I said before, be our luck. Whoever comes up today, first game of the season, they'll be at home to Arsenal, like Brentford were last year. Be our bloody luck. Huddersfield wouldn't be a problem, I don't think, in terms of if that's the case. Forest would be, because obviously Huddersfield have got decent form against us in the FA Cup. If you know, you know. Oh dear, got it off. There's a few empty upper tier there, actually, from Huddersfield end. By the way, Wembley in England showing France and Paris how to actually let fans in to the stadium and not fuck them over, not tear gas them and all that. Just saying. How dare you stand out for side defence when you've been told to stand? Fucking French twats. I can say, after what the videos I saw last night, disgusting. And UEFA's first point of call was, it's the fans' fault. They had fake tickets. Fucking one of the Liverpool players, Andy Robinson, has put that myth to bed. His friends and family got tickets via the club. For fuck's sake, they're getting told, no, fake ticket, piss off. All first took the knee and Huddersfield just stood there and applauded instead of taking the knee. And we're off. Here we go. Hopefully, we have a better final than what we did last night. The first final I've done this season, I'm hosting on this channel, and Liverpool aren't involved. So hopefully, touch wood. Oh dear, you got to laugh. If you don't laugh, you cry. Oh, mistake there. Huddersfield in the attack. Sorry, they're outnumbered though. You want the ball? Is John Moss a ref? Oh my god! So his last ever game before he retires is the playoff final. Talk about being sympathetic and all that. Fucking hell. He's even struggling. Literally, not even a minute in, when that foul was committed, it took him 10, 15 seconds to just catch up and then get the free kick. Oh, by the way, yeah, just going by the commentator, there is VAR in play for this final, like it was for the League 1 playoff and League 2 playoff finals, respectively. What a waste of a free kick that was. Just like hoofed it in and no one attacked it. Oh dear. Get your comments in the chat, by the way, like the score predictions, or if you want to talk about last night's game or the incidents involving last night's Champions League final before the before and after effects of what happened outside the stadium, or just it's stuff in general. Put in the comments, pop in the comments, and away we'll go, basically. Send money. No, thank you. Oh dear. Have a free kick to Forest. Let me do this. Again to the flip. The guy, Thomas is up. He's floating it in. There was an initial this time that someone got a head to flick it in, and the attacker doesn't attack it. There's ball watching. It's quite. Obviously, Ty Forest end is completely like full. I was saying, but it's been good to turn it from the Huddersfield side of things as well. But there's chunks of their section where there's either not got in there, or they're running late, or just haven't sold the tickets. All close in attack, Spence down the wing, crosses it in. Huddersfield clear, no problem. If it gets dark, if it's too dark, you can't see me, let me know in the chat, by the way, and I'm going to put my lights on in a sec. As well, and I'll adjust the camera as well. Actually, adjust the camera now, 1 sec, because I'm laying back. Okay. Ball in first. Free kick to Huddersfield, that was offside or. Let's have a look now. Yeah, foul from the Forest captain. There was no need to do that. Just throw himself in and get involved a bit. I mean, the foul was committed on the 6-yard box, but okay. Struggling to get any sort of footing, really. Like, to sort of take the tempo of this game. I know it's only 5 minutes in, but it was nearly 6 minutes in, but still. Very cagey start from both sides. Mate, Huddersfield more so, I'd say. Russ is in the chat. Big up, Russ. Hope you're keeping well, my friend. I'm good myself, by the way. Thanks for asking. If you want to pop on at any point, Russ, if you're not busy or anything, let me know and I'll send you a link during the stream. We could talk about last night if you want. What went off there? Oh dear. I was just saying, by the way, Russ, I was just saying before you came in before, so thankful that this is the first final I'm doing this season, at the end of the last one, obviously, that ain't going to involve Liverpool. I'm so relieved because I thought we'd seen for the last 3 finals I've covered in this channel involving Liverpool. Yeah, I couldn't do that for a 4th time. Jesus Christ. If Liverpool get to the final next year with any competition, I'm not covering it. I'm not doing a watching for it. I'm sorry. I can't put myself through that. Not again. Oh, Stefan's popped in as well. Stefan. Oh, I'll adjust my camera. I'm moving forward a bit. One sec. Yeah, it's covered. It's good covered. Stefan, what's happening, mate? Not keeping up with the game, to be honest, but would like to see Forest return as I look on them as a big club due to old big head. They are a big club. Historically, they are a big club, and I was saying before, again, it's 23 years. I was literally a kid. I wasn't even a teenager. In my teen years, the last time Forest were a Premier League club. That's how long ago it's been. I've gone through my entire teens, 20s, and into my 30s with Forest being a Championship club, or League One, respectively, when I've been relegated to League One once as well in 23 years. That's how long it's been. And Huddersfield have been a Premier League club recently. They had a 2-year spell. They did well to survive the first year. The second year, they just went and had points sort of thing. It's just felt like they just went, we know we shouldn't be here. We'll go down peacefully, basically. I like to see, I've said it before, I like to see different teams come up. I like to see the same teams always come up over and over again. One of my gripes with Forest and Fulham over the last few years, they go up and down, up and down. It just really hacks me up because that's like, it's like they purposely do it as well because of the financial model it's put in place. And it's bang out of order because other clubs that would love the opportunity to play the Premier League, to make themselves not just heroes at the club, but like put their authority and show their worth at Premier League level. That they can make that step up. To be honest, I thought at one point Coventry City this season in the Championship. Oh, there was a point where you thought they're going to hold on, go out for a playoff spot, but obviously the inexperience of being in that situation showed, and they just missed out by a few points. But again, they're another club they've been out of Premier League my entire 20s and 30s, like literally again since I was a kid. I'd love to see them back in the Premier League and get there, and for it to then financially help them in such a way where they can get back their stadium. Well, it's not booking, it'd be a warning. It was a 50-50 sort of thing in terms of going for the ball. Player didn't read it. Yeah, it's a warning. He does sort of he stands his ground, defender for Huddersfield, but yeah, stands his ground. But I think it's more of a warning than a yellow. See what Forest can do this free kick then. I say this though, if Forest do come up today, Kevin Campbell's going to be very busy on all the Nottingham Forest, Arsenal, Everton channels next season. Plus of his actual work outside of doing like his Harvey Squad and the appearances he does on the YouTube channels as well. Obviously, his Sky stuff. You've got all the other broadcasting stuff from La Liga and all that. So he's a bit even busier next season. If Forest do come up. So much. Oh, he did fuck it up. Forest got it back here. Spence. 20. Ball in. Doesn't. He attacks it in the end, but not quick enough. Merlin. Bed. Oh. Bed. Oh. He's trying to be awkward on purpose. Very quiet. I mean, I'm trying to figure out which fans I'm listening to hear now, but it's very quiet as well. I say I think it's the Forest fans. Sounds like the Forest fans anyway. Don't know what I'm hearing. Huddersfield for a 90,000 capacity stadium, put it that way, it's very quiet. It doesn't feel like very tense. You can cut the atmosphere with a knife. Oh dear. Forest, after a bit of a 50-50 start in the first couple of minutes, Forest start now getting their foot on the ball and dictating the tempo of the game, basically. And having more of the lion's share of possession there. Oh dear. Oh, the good run from Spencer to get the ball. Ball in. Well blocked, corner. Yeah, Forest is up the tempo now, Forest are. I'll do it in a sec. I said I'll do it in a sec. I'll do it in a sec.
I'm ready to do it anyway.
Oh. You see this corner, I've got to do something 1 sec. Alright, here we go. Corner in. Straight out for a goal kick. Bloody hell. He's lacking that quality though. I got him there. He is lacking so far. Oh dear. Oh dear, my head. How's that a free kick? First got a free kick there. Basically, the goal kick gets taken. It's a 50-50 for the ball. McKenna jumps up, wins the header, falls to the floor, gets a free kick. Oh dear. This game is lacking a lot of quality. I've got on there. The nerves, both set of players have got nerves. And we're seeing it with Forest in the final third. Which comment? I've always, on my end, I've got 3 comments on my screen. 2 from you, 1 from Russ. I've got other comments coming from you. So I haven't done nothing. Have a look. See if anyone's been if anyone wants to be in Pratt's, coming in watching and being Pratt's, I'm gonna be having words. Yes. Huh? But Brian Cuff. No, nothing's come up on my end. I'm even checking on my phone here. You on about this comment? That's the first comment I got from you. And I assumed the last part of that comment was about Brian Clough. Oh, sake, man. John Moss he's nothing blowing his whistle so far. A lot. No, that one was if I see it, mate, I'll put it on the screen. Obviously, it's obviously good and not risky, so I say. so slow. It's about Forest taking the tempo and all that. Never a lot of the ball, but just so slow though. Like, as I say about the nerves.
Yeah.
Shadow's behind you. Oh, God. Oh, okay, so here we go. Stefan in the chat is. Oh, no. One sec. Oh, one sec. Oh, blame rugby now. Okay, cool. Stefan said I met Clough after the game years ago. And he was very cocky as you'd expect. And he said, out of the way, young man, cheeky, so I guess he acknowledged me. Yeah. When you have the success that he had as a manager at Forest, Derby, all that, throughout his career, he's going to develop that side of him. He's going to come out. Yeah, as long as he's not too over the top, it is what it is. Just not a bad thing. Oh, for God's sake. They have no patience, do they?
No, you don't. You get like 2 seconds to get downstairs. Then how fast you can move.
Didn't give an autograph. Where did you bump into him then? Out of interest, Stefan. Was it a football game or just out and about? Maybe if it was like a normal day-to-day thing and out and about, maybe he just didn't want the attention or something. I don't know. Maybe it was one of them moods. He doesn't want any attention on him. This is so poor. Oh God! I thought Liverpool fans are bad. Jesus, the quality so far has been shabby, to say the least. But as I say, in terms of what he achieved in his career, is always it's like Ferguson will have that arrogance. Wenger will have that sort of persona of arrogance because of what they've achieved. They can sort of you can allow them that. It's the managers that have got that arrogance and big headedness. They haven't done sweet FA in their career. That's when it gets a bit like, come on, you need to bring your neck in, mate. Yeah. Well, okay, after football, okay. Yeah, back when and also that you talk about Ipswich, Forest v Ipswich. Yeah, back when Ipswich were actually not a third-tier division team. They had an own. I don't know. You might disagree with me because obviously you have more intel and obviously being a fan of Ipswich. But it just seems that your owner has no clue what he's doing. I mean, is it? I mean, Ipswich hired a new manager in the last couple of days. Am I thinking about someone else? I mean, either way, start the season you're hiring fucking someone who's basically just been pinned off by Pompey for crying out loud. I swear it was Ipswich that just hired a new manager. He's basically the League One version of fucking Arteta, basically in terms of no managerial experience. He's just retired as I can't remember. Might be someone else I think of actually. It just seems that the owner hasn't got a bloody clue how to run that club. And that's what's holding you back in that division. To get yourselves back in the championship and pushing yourselves back into the Premier League limelight. Yeah, you might disagree with me, but I just might smart from the outside looking in. Yeah, this could be a long game, I think. Until one of the teams take the cup. In terms of the final third of this game, in terms of like the attacking final third, I mean not the final third of the game itself, but the final third of the attacking side of the match of football. Until one of these two teams gets their head out their arse and starts stamping their authority and gets the nerves out of their system, this is going to be a very scrappy game. This could go to extra time. I'm saying it. We're 26 minutes in, and I'm saying this could go to extra time. League One version of it is Ipswich have just hired a new manager, haven't they? That literally they just retired from playing football or something like that. Like he has no managerial experience whatsoever. Hence why I made the comparison of Arteta. Again, it's just with the owners, like I say, but don't include like they've gone. It's like they've gone with the experience of like Paul Lambert and Cook and all that the last couple of years because it hasn't worked out. Oh well, we'll go for the next best thing and we'll go for the complete rookie. No one expects to pull up any trees basically. I mean, it's like again the manager got Ipswich relegated to the championship effectively that season because he was in charge most of that season. I don't know his name now. Just missed out promotion. Was it Scunthorpe from League One to the Championship, but he got headhunted by Ipswich to take over there after Mick McCarthy. If the owner had a clue what he was doing and didn't hire someone better, more experienced manager of that level, Ipswich wouldn't be in the mess they're in now for the last 3-4 years plus, in terms of actually being the Championship still, not League One. Mm-hmm. This game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I'm right. Oh, that's it. Who was it? Have a look. I'll find out. It might be someone else then in the League One. It's definitely in League One though. It happened. See if I can find out. Stephen's in the chat. I've got another one of Steve's in the chat basically. Who you want in Huddersfield or Forest? I prefer Forest because as I say, I've been saying for a while now. 23 years since they were last in the Premier League. Huddersfield have been at it more recently, 2 years, and then came back there with whimper. But yeah, Forest. And because obviously doing what I do, I've obviously met a couple of decent Forest fans on this platform that are obviously Door on tour, Mr. Door, you call him, being one of them. And it's just they deserve the Forest fans themselves. After all, I think they've gone through just been since they got relegated from the Premier League 23 years ago. In terms of going down to League One, have to fight back, come back, this that, and the other. Little scares here and there. They deserve they deserve this today. They deserve to be going up today more than anyone else. McCarthy was right. He kept Ipswich afloat because, as I say, he only hasn't got a clue what he's fucking doing. When it came down to it, wasn't willing to put the funding into strengthen. Oh yeah, Ralph Ragnick's apparently Wreck-It Ralph's left Man United completely. He's not staying on now all of a sudden. That's interesting. Yeah, exactly. No, there's no disrespect to Huddersfield. Whoever comes up, I'm not exactly like hands-on like bomb. I'm completely gutted off and all that malarkey. But I would prefer Forest because of the reasons I've stated already. Yeah. Bear me a second, because the dogs 1 sec. So I'm multitasking. So bear with me. Oh, he's also slow. Ben in the bum. All Connors in the chat as well. Sorry, guys, I just put the dog's food out. It cool down now. I'm taking this one away from the food. King Davis, these gloves are so lucky. Ralph was always, yeah. I knew, well, we all knew that, but it's just that the fact that they dragged it. They made a point after a point in Ten Hag. They made a point of stating out there. Oh no, Ralph's still staying. He's going to do 6 days. Was it 6 days a month or 6 days every 3 months worth of work for another year? And then today, actually, he's fully committed to Austria. He doesn't want to be with us anymore. Nothing to do with the fact that, as people have been saying in group chats, I mean, he pretty much called out the club and the owners for what they are basically, and the players as well for the last half of that season. Just gone. Nothing to do with that at all. Cheddars in the chat. How's a hangover, Cheddars? I was saying earlier as well, I did take a little dig at the Paris authorities and stadium authorities, obviously UEFA and all that as well, for what happened to your fans last night. After seeing the video, after come off air, there's videos circulating and all that. Sky touching it as well, and they put their videos out as well. And literally, the fucking like cattle, basically. The Liverpool fans are waiting outside. Only sent to the area where only 2 turnstiles are open, and then they're getting told, "No, fake ticket, fake ticket." You got friends and family of the players contacting their players like Andy Robertson, and they're saying, "We're being told it's fake tickets," but obviously, Andy and players, the rest of the players and all that know that's not the case because the tickets that have been given to their friends and family have come via the club. So all that UEFA PR bullshit of fake tickets are being used to get in is the biggest load of bullshit to cover their asses. Notice how Real Madrid didn't have any issue getting in. No, it's as per lots of France. I mean, there's in recent years, last 15 plus years. If you're an Arsenal fan, United fan, Liverpool fan, Chelsea fan, etc. Oh my God. Almost a goal for Huddersfield. But as I was saying, if you're a supporter of the club that's been in Champions League for the last 15 plus years and longer, certain countries, Italy, Spain, France and all that, they have a huge reputation, and not a good one by the way when I say this, of targeting the English teams in town, and the supporters are in town obviously, come to support their team. The authorities have a reputation of going, well, you're from England, we don't like you, for no reason, we're going to fucking beat you to death, for no reason, attack you in the stands as well. Like, what was it, I can't think now, about 15 years ago? 2008? No, I can't think now. 2008, I think it was, or it might have been a year later. No, 2007, sorry. 2007, Man United versus Roma. And in the away league, Man United fans have gone to the away league. And they're in the stands, and out of nowhere, fucking authorities, there's a turning on the fans. Literally, Man United fans, literally footage has come out, they're battering the shit out of them. And nothing's ever been done. We know the situation with Leeds back in the late 90s as well, now in that Champions League, the late 90s, early 2000s, when they were a Champions League team as well. What happened to their fans going abroad, certain places. So, as I say, certain countries have a opinion on us on the English clubs, their fan bases, or whatever. Even though nowadays it's literally a global thing now, football clubs, especially in that competition. Or you support an English team, well, we're gonna fucking tear gas you or beat you or do this. I mean, there's from an Arsenal perspective, when we played Atletico Madrid back in the semi-final, second leg in the Europa League a few years back, I know people, friends that went to that second leg, and literally just running their own business, doing their own thing, getting into the stadium, walking towards the stadium, and the Spanish police just literally spot you wearing an Arsenal shirt and started beating you. But hey, it is what it is. I should be saying it is what it is, but UEFA do what they do best and protecting what went on, basically, as they always do. And, what happened there? Well, sweep it under the rug. Yet they were quick enough, UEFA, to go after England after what happened in the Euros final last year. They were quick enough to come after us then. They weren't quick. They weren't happy to sweep that under the rug, were they? No, exactly, Chris. That's what I'm saying. As I say, Italy and Spain are the worst out of the three we've mentioned so far in terms of their policing. Go out their way to cause harm to English supporting club fans. It's a known thing, but nothing ever gets done. And then I guarantee, even though there's footage out there, literally one video where a French officer is going around on the other side of the gate, literally just for no reason, spraying tear gas that people are just queuing up waiting to get in, just spraying tear gas at them. But I think it'll be done though. And in that clip you can see, it's not enough clip to tell, the Liverpool fans weren't doing anything to merit being sprayed or even anyway assaulted, basically. Oh, 1-0 Forest. There we go. Finally, we got a goal. Finally. Yates has put the ball in there. Oh my God. This has been, for the first half of football, it's been very drab in the final third from both sides. But finally, we have a goal. Finally. Obviously, you can't change the scoreboard just yet, just in case, because there's VAR at the final as well. So to make sure, I think it was onside. No issues, I don't think. Just having a look now. Good finish from Yates as well. At the near post. Makes a good run, yeah. Oh, what? Oggy. There's an Oggy. Just watching the replays now. Comes off the defender's knee. Yates makes an attempt for the ball, doesn't actually touch him at all. And he's the nearest defender to him, I think. It hits off his knee. Top corner, 1-0. Kevin Campbell and the whole of Nottingham are going mental now. But we have a goal. Yay. Okay. There's a video of Real Madrid fighting before City match and nothing. Exactly. What was it in the return of football after the first round of COVID back in 2020, when that summer when they're finishing off that previous season, the 1920 season and all that for all the competitions. No, I think was it before? No, it was before actually. No, it was before. Sorry. The season before COVID, so the 1920, so the 18-19 season, if I'm correct. PSG had to play a game behind closed doors because of the racial situation that kicked off between fans or something. I can't remember what exactly went on, but they basically there's a knockout game. They had to play their home leg behind closed doors. and every PSG fan in their numbers turned up outside the stadium, and there's no policing either, because obviously there weren't meant to be any games there. Turned up and literally outside the stadium, just going at it basically the entire from for 3-4 hours non-stop, fireworks, flares, you name it. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, there's still, obviously, as we know, we're not naive to say there's completely eradicated in England, but it's nowhere near as bad as the media abroad and in the UK sort of make out. Yeah, and it isn't that bad. Obviously, still, as I say, it's still idiots out there, but still, it's far better here in the UK than what it is, and it's far better than Italian clubs. No matter what size of club you've got, are 3 to 4 fucking firms, for fuck's sake, who go out their way to cause aggro, to cause pain. Just an example. Oh, Sam's it. Sam's in the chat. What crap game this is? It's 1-0, but yeah, it's not been the most exciting game. The final third is what's pretty, apart from the goal itself, is what's been lacking from both teams, and you could sense the nerves in the players. Huddersfield even playing football now? They will have to attack at least. Yeah, they definitely have to come out. They want to make a game of this, because otherwise it will be another drag second half. And I did talk to Bernie, by the way. I did actually last night apologise and explain why I couldn't get in the end. So we all called in. Basically, the plan is he does his next Q&A with a guest and all that. Let me know and I'll be there basically to make up for last night. Oh dear! And also got organised with him. The collab, obviously, he's been wanting to do for a while now, but we haven't got round to doing it yet. Back in 1 sec, guys. I'm going to get the dogs their food now. Okay. Oh yeah, let's get you upstairs. Go on. Oh, right. What Colin's in the chat? That's it. Ipswich moving from right, please, Stefan. We are a long way from the Prem, closer to League Two. That's down to your owners. That's the reason why you're that situation. As you said earlier, McCarthy proved that one. But yeah, this has been a terrible fucking game. Thank God you guys have popped in. Who is called Stefan? You can't say that. He's got our friend from Scotland. He's going to have no fingernails in midweek when he plays Ukraine. Fourth place possibly at the World Cup. To be honest, having all major derbies in the Premier would be nice. So both Sheffield clubs, Nottingham clubs, West Ham Mill will be bloodbath. So no, thank you. Well, Millwall in general against away to any London team will be a bloodbath. Yeah. If you guys haven't come in now to the chat, I'll be losing my mind now with this game. Oh my god. That has hurt my head. I honestly didn't think we'd find a worse final than having Liverpool in a final for the Champions League, FA Cup and League Cup. But somehow we've managed to find it. It's also another team that could win the league in Scotland. Oh dear. Horrible club, absolute scum from top to bottom, yeah. The Championship must be crap if this is the best day ever in the playoffs. I mean, if Huddersfield, I can get where you're coming from because Huddersfield, they literally last year they were fucking fighting for survival. This year, as I say, they're in a position where they could get promoted basically. In terms of Forest has been a decent team this year since Steve Cooper came in. After the first few weeks, he came in and he's changed things of the fortunes of the club basically from where they were to where they are now. Played some good football as well. I mean, they knocked us out. I mean, I know it was our youth/second team. They knocked us out the cup. Knocked out Leicester. Went full strength against Leicester. Knocked out a full strength Leicester team with ease. Gave Liverpool a fucking game as well. We'll go back. Merlin.
She's in the room, so she'll stop him. But
We've got to stop paying attention. Go eat your dinner. Go on. One sec. Charlton, yeah, they are still in League One. No, they were poor this year actually. Again, they've got owners that don't. In terms of the ownership of Charlton, it's not that they don't know what they're doing; it's just don't give a shit. Charlton, which again, it's a shame as well because they've been out of the Premier League since 2006. So they got relegated, didn't they? 2006. Yeah, 2006, I think it was. Yeah, no, 2007. Sorry, 2007. Yeah, 2007 season they got relegated. Bear with me now. I'll get the league table up for League One. Right, League One. Charlton finished 13th in the league. Ipswich 11th. I mean, not the points difference between 11th and 13th. Jesus, 11 points different. Bloody hell. But yeah, you had Wigan and Rotherham come up automatically. The playoffs there were between MK Dons, Sheffield Wednesday, Sunderland, and Wickham. The final itself was between Sunderland and Wickham. Sunderland came up. Then you had Plymouth, Oxford, Bolton, Pompey, Ipswich, Charlton. Charlton's another team I'd like to see the owners get their head at their arses and that club come back to the Premier League one day. Good, nice little London visit to London, outside of London anyway. Nice little London derby. Missed there. In terms of Championship, I mean, for them, Bournemouth came out automatic, but in terms of from third onwards, it was at Huddersfield, Forest, Sheffield United, Luton. I mean, Luton was the surprise package this season. Let's be honest. No one in their right mind would have said that they'd be not even near the playoffs, let alone in the playoffs coming to the end of the season. Middlesbrough, Blackburn, Millwall, West Brom under Steve Bruce, for God's sake. They go for they want to get in the playoffs and they go and get Steve Bruce. What do they expect? QPR, who then sacked the manager for some reason. Coventry, Preston, Stoke, Swansea, Blackpool, Bristol, Cardiff, Hull, Birmingham City, Reading, and then the bottom three was Peterborough, Derby, and Barnsley. Well, when was the last time a club other than Celtic or Rangers won the Scottish Premier? You have to go back to the 80s. Jesus, yeah. Otherwise, far as I can't remember. Again, it's got this visual point, Sam. That literally, I can't remember a time where Celtic and Rangers didn't win the Prem in Scotland. In my lifetime, anyway. I remember Rotherham when I went with Dad to watch Arsenal against them. When younger, we beat them on pens. Oh, Rotherham, that was that League Cup, wasn't it? Was that League? That would have been. Yeah, was that early 2000s? Because I can remember. If that's the case. That was like. I don't think the year that was now. But yeah, again, we had that's our second. Was that 0203, wasn't it? No, 0203 or 0102? We played Rotherham in the first round for us of the League Cup. Aberdeen used to, but when was the last time though? The question was basically asking when was the last time that anyone, apart from Rangers or Celtic, won the actual SPL? And yeah, England are going down that route now. With your City dominant, City just winning it every fucking year or every other year. Liverpool at the moment are there, just there, hanging on by the skin of their teeth. Newcastle will be there, so literally, I say 3 to 4 years' time, if other clubs outside of Man City and Newcastle don't get that together and recruit properly, etc., we could have a league where it's just duked out between two countries, basically Saudi Arabia and fucking Dubai or whatever, whoever owns Man City. It'd be a two-horse affair basically for the title every year. Same two teams, top 10, and from third onwards, this is a battle for third onwards. Because Chelsea now, under this new ownership, I could be wrong, but going by the fact that the guy's net worth is not even half less than Stan Kroenke. Stan Kroenke's net worth is more 3-4 times more than this guy at Chelsea now. That's coming in, and Chelsea think they're going to keep going, basically, keep competing for top honours. No, not a chance in hell. I think Chelsea will be back. Will now fall back into reality of what they once were 19 years ago, along with us and United and all that. And yeah, it's gonna be fucking annoying. So that's what I'm saying. Between the next 4 or 5 years, until Newcastle get to that point, we, like the Arsenals, the Uniteds of this world, our owners need to get their head out of their asses and then actually run the club properly, recruit properly, hire the right people throughout the entire top to bottom, and I can get ourselves in a position where we can challenge basically for the title and win a title at least. You doing? To you. Leicester winning the Prem was such a blip in the matrix. It will never happen again. No, it won't. I mean, what's really rammed that home as well. Not just the since then dominance of Pep coming in and doing what he's done at Man City domestically, but obviously Newcastle now jumping on a bandwagon as well. Where are you coming from? League for the Middle East and China? Dundee United have a 100% win record against Barcelona, 4 wins, no losses. Jesus Christ. I mean, look at Ligue 1 in France. Because of the owners at PSG and how they've just splashed the cash, they might have the odd season where they fall off and an out of nowhere team wins the league. But again, 9 times out of 10, they walk that league. We're seeing it at Bayern Munich as well. The way it's different at Bayern Munich because of how they're run as a club itself. They've got 50%, over 51% of the ownership is with the fans, but still, it's just the same. It's like in that respect, at least they're not run by a fucking country in terms of a source from abroad, basically. But we're seeing it everywhere we look now, in terms of the League and all that, and it's crept in England now with City, and as I say, Newcastle will join that race. It'll be a 2-horse races same 2 teams, top 2 teams every season. If the rest of the league ain't careful. Players go back to the second half. Bear with me, I'll do myself some custard. Go me up a crumble. Bear with me, guys. I'll be back in 2 ticks. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear, anyway, back again. Just doing the casting back and forth now. So I'll just be in your sort of slag off Scotland. Okay, cool. The Bungle's in the chat. Big up, Mr. Bungle. How you doing, my friend? The first time I won yesterday, been eyeing you. Fucking hell. We made that mistake as an Arsenal, as a club, I mean, in terms of recruitment, fucking bringing him in, even though it was a loan. Fucking hell. Quite, not technically gifted player, just put wrong time to come to us, basically. You know about Real Madrid, I'm assuming, Arsenal, for all the flaws we have in Europe in terms of not winning the actual European Cup and all that so far, we're the first British or English team to go to the Bernabeu and beat Real Madrid ever. That's 2006. We're the first team to beat Inter Milan and AC Milan respectively, separate times as well, against at the San Siro, as an English, first English team to do that. British team to do that as well against Inter Milan and AC Milan at separate times. First team to go to Dortmund and win there as the first British team. I mean, I think we've still got the record as well. I think Roberto Silva still has the record of the fastest ever Champions League goal, and that was in 2003 season. I think he still has the record. I don't know anymore. Ipswich knocked Real Madrid out of Europe in '73. Yeah. Back when, yeah. We knocked them out. Yeah, but I'm saying in terms of actually going to the Bernabeu as the first British team to go to the Bernabeu and win. We're the first team to do that. The first team to do British team to do it at Dortmund, beat Dortmund at their ground, AC Milan and Inter Milan respectively at the San Siro as well. There's other first who've done as well as a British team. But yeah, when it comes to the moments that actually get to the final and win it, we were involved in 2006. I will say that, but our record of actually winning an actual European trophy isn't exactly great. Ryan, you need to win the big one. Arsenal, an amazing club, but need a Champions League. Mate, we sort of had the first Champions League trophy in 2006, but we all know, even neutrals, I'd say, all know what happened there. Pardon me. We just had a fucking ref. There's only recently, by the way, in the last few weeks, come out and said, "Yeah, I fucked up. Layman shouldn't have been sent off," and Barcelona's equalising goal for Samiatu was offside. Thanks for telling us 15 years later. That's fantastic. You couldn't admit to that back then, could you, though? Oh, no. You wait till you're fully retired and nice and cushy. But yeah, we should have won that. We should have, if we had won that 2006 final against Barcelona. Not only would it have been our first European Cup win, obviously, it would have been the first London team, period, not Chelsea. And again, at that point, the dynasty would have been pushed in terms of going for that new era, going with that new young team that we had. The dynasty that Barca had, built on from that, they wouldn't have had that, and it would have been more likely us in terms of the European stage. But it is what it is, and we just fell away now. We just from being anywhere near that. We do need to. I'd love to see my team win it in my lifetime before I go. Morbid as that sounds, but you know what I'm saying. Oh, it's because it's taking forever. Yeah, exactly, Stefan. The club didn't kick on. But there's a reason. There are. So, again, the referee for that final. And Sam mentioned it last night. He saw Norway. So why Sam didn't go and have a word with him for the last 15 minutes is beyond me. He had one job, Sam. No, all jokes aside, we were 11v11. We were up to the point of Lane being sent off. Wrongfully, in my opinion, but still. Up to that point, we were a better team. We had all the ball. We looked more threatening. But also, we were very, very quiet because they had Ronaldinho and they had to and all that. You did it, Julie. This could go on there. But, let's say Huddersfield free kick. Nothing comes from it though. We were a better team, and then that happened, and that allowed them to dictate the tempo to an extent. I'd say they had more. You'd expect to have more of the ball than they did in stages, but even then, with 10 men, we went up the other end of the pitch 5 minutes later, got a free kick and put the ball in the net. And we had opportunities in that game. Even with 10 men, 1-0 up, we had 3-4 massive opportunities to put the game to bed. If we weren't on read balls now, Lundberg, I think Lundberg shot got pushed onto the post. Fab missed an opportunity. Fabregas got fouled and nothing was given. Henry missed 3 sitters in that final as well. But we were 1-0 up with 50 minutes to go, and in that alone, Henrik Larsson coming on when he did changed that game, that final. He got the assist of both goals. He was involved in both goals that won Barcelona that final. And as I say, but even that going back to that equalising goal, everyone saw the commentators, even before they looked at replays, saw Eto'o was offside. Everyone I knew that of Liverpool, Chelsea, United fans the next day were saying to me how Eto'o got away with not being onside, got away with being offside for that equalising goal beyond me. Because if anyone, the official spot that he was offside in the first place, obviously it stays 1-0, and I think we see the game out. I honestly do think we see the game out then. Once that equaliser went in, our heads dropped, and there's only one team that's going to win it in 90 minutes. The only way we was going to go on to win it is if we held out to put it into extra time. It is what it is, though. But as I say, it means so much to see my team, not just back in the Champions League, but to actually win it, to go out there and win it. And that Melvin and all that, other people have said throughout the season and the season before and all that, the last couple of years, the Tottenham team that got to that final, Tottenham in general, if Tottenham can get not just qualifying for the Champions League, but they can get to a final full stop in the modern era, as they say. There's no reason why we can't get back into the competition event at some point and get to the final ourselves. I just hope that if and when that does happen, our squad is big enough and ugly enough to get us over the line this time. I can't help but say, I can't help it. The game's fucking piss poor. Why is it every fucking this season, League Cup final? I covered. It was I had Andrew and Neil with me. They can back me up. Anyone, but that was a poor game. FA Cup final, I didn't even bother, and I was so thankful I didn't because it was a poor game. Champions League final last night was a poor game, and now 24 hours later, I'm doing the championship player final, and it's a fucking poor game. So help me out. Oh, it is what it is, though. Do smash them likes up, guys, as well. That'd be a massive help. And as I keep saying, do share the content around as well, left, right, and centre. Because even though the game is a bit drab still, we're still having a laugh. We're still talking footballers, basically. We've turned the guy's football channel into borderline psychopathic chat room. Not quite, but I mean, the same time, when the game is this poor, like we've seen this season, and obviously, like I said before, last night's final and the League Cup final before. Sorry, Chris, to say this, by the way, but there's only so much we can talk about the game without repeating ourselves. So I'd rather us still be chatting between each other back and forth about other bits and pieces, be it previous like Championship finals or respecting other clubs or Arsenal in general or whatever. If it's keeping the chat going, we can have a laugh along the way. Why not? It kills the boredom at least. It does actually make the time go quicker. One sec, got a bit of a sec. Oh, Ben, the guy side. Finally, I'm done. I'm rested. Back. Sent me a DM on Twitter. Right, have you? Okay, sorry. I was just serving up my. Sam Sarge is coming on for Keaton Davis. Yeah, I was just serving up my apple crumble, custard, and all that. So that's why I disappeared for a few minutes. But I'll send you a link now if you're still interested. The birds making a noise up about there. Outside. Actually, not in the house for once. Right, bear with me. I'll send it over to you on Twitter. I've sent it. Let me know you've got it. Let me know you've got it, mate. Fucking, I was expecting a better game today. I'll be honest. Especially more so because we had Forest in the final and the way they've been playing this season. I was expecting a lot better quality today than we've got. But nope, yet again, after I cover a fucking final, it's fucking bullshit crap. Right, so.
All right. All right, lads.
What do I do to myself?
I'll tell you what, this game is absolute crap. It is so bad.
It's making last night's game look good, and that's saying something.
Oh, bloody hell. I mean, either of these teams, if they get into the Premier League, there's no way they are staying up. No way.
Playing like this, no, they can't. Surely not.
Nah. And what I can't understand, Huddersfield, right? I've just been... So they're 1-0 down, and they've just been attacking a bit, but they've got one person in the... They've got one guy in the box.
Yeah.
You got one guy in the box, you're 1-0 down. I mean...
Yeah.
What the hell are they thinking?
And they're attacking their fancies off as well, where their fans are. So you'd think that would be a bit more of a uplift as well from them, but nothing.
I've got 67 minutes on my feed here.
Yeah.
You're probably a couple of minutes ahead.
I'm literally about to hit 68 any second now.
Yeah, so you're about a minute ahead. And I mean, it looks like Huddersfield are the team that are leading. I mean, they should got to try and harder than this, guys, if you want to win the playoffs. I mean, come on, you're 1-0 down.
Well, you'd think as well with the financial benefits you'd get from winning this game. That you'd get that from not just Huddersfield, but from both teams. But it's just been so crap. It's like when it gets to the final third for both teams, when it gets to the final third, like the nerves kicking is like, oh fuck, nosebleed, nosebleed.
They obviously don't have the the ability right now today in the final third to do much damage. But I'm just looking at Huddersfield, the way they're playing. The first half they just parked the bus basically, and even after Forest scored, they still didn't look like they could come out and attack. And now for the second half, you're 1-0 down. Surely you've got to come forward more.
Yeah.
I just can't understand what they're doing.
Put the pressure on Forest. Make them work for it. Stretch their defence because it's so easy. They make it so easy to defend against.
They're just sitting so deep and letting Forest just have the ball. And then they play this long ball to no one. I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah.
That pass just now I just saw, that long cross pass from the centre half from Huddersfield. Absolute shite. Oh, there's Frank Clark. I hardly recognised him.
Yeah, you're about 40 seconds behind it then, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Forest being in the Premier League is nice, a bit of nostalgia and all that, and they're a big club, and
yeah,
they won the European Cup twice, didn't they, and all of that. So, it's just right now, looking at them right now, they're not looking very good, to be honest. But of course, it's just today, isn't it? There's loads of factors that plays in on that, but they're definitely going to need a few new players if they're coming up to the Premier League. They're going to need to strengthen their team.
Yeah, it's got quality and all, not just strength in depth, but it's just more quality. Because this, going by what we're seeing today, no, it's not be based on one game, but this is going to be the game that gets them back up after however long.
Yeah,
they did give a full strength Leicester and a full strength Liverpool team a run for their money, and they did knock us at our B team / youth team out in the third round of the cup.
Yeah,
that's the FA Cup for you. The league ain't the Premier League is far different from an FA Cup one-off FA Cup match.
Yeah, it's going to be different than a knockout game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see how they do if they end up going through. It looks like it. And then Huddersfield.
They've got the challenge, haven't they? Let's be honest.
Look how deep Huddersfield is sitting. It's 70 minutes, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Colonel's priorities. I want Forest to get up, so I'll get a new stadium in Fever. Oh dear. I mean, Kevin Campbell will be very busy next season. Not busier than what he normally is. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah. Because Everton stayed up as well, didn't they? So
Everton stayed up, so we'd have
Everton, Arsenal,
and Forest.
Nottingham Forest.
So he'll be a very busy boy week in, week out. Plus with his podcast and all that. Bill, I've got VAR. I don't know for diving.
I haven't got that yet.
John Moss has booked the number 3 for diving.
Right.
I think VAR needs to look at that. I'll have a look at it myself once. Let's have a look. A slight contact. That was he up in the air before the contact was made? I can have a look. Colback makes the commitment to make the foul, so I think it could go either way, really. They are checking it. That's what they're saying. Makes the move away. Yeah, the contact before he's like, I think it's going to be a penalty.
Bloody hell. The one time Huddersfield attack in the last 10 minutes and they get a penalty.
It could be a penalty. It hasn't been given yet. As it stands, he's been booked for diving, but look at the replay, super slow-mo as well.
Nah.
No, not given.
He didn't touch him.
There was a slight touch of the tip of his toe. And as we know, Premier League-wise, that's enough in the Premier League to get given a penalty. The VAR.
He was definitely looking for it as well. I mean, you can see the
way
he
looking
moved.
for it, but I'm just saying, literally, you see them given in the Premier League, and this is meant to be the equivalent of a Premier League level game. They're
That's Bruno Fernandes. It's a penalty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
What have you made of that today? Ralph Ragnick being confirmed that he's not staying after all.
That's been a rumour for a while, isn't it?
Yeah, everyone was saying it, but Man United were like, no, he'll do 6 days out of 3 months, every 3 months or whatever. Like, okay, yeah, that's cool. That's smart. Nothing to do with the fact that he's just publicly came out and threw the entire club under the bus for the last 6 months of the season.
I think Ragnick, he's realised what a shit show it is there, and with Ten Hag coming in, who probably he's going to want really to do things his way, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think Ragnick has sort of realised he doesn't want to be there.
Do you think that makes it? Do you think that makes Ten Hag's job now even harder?
Well, Ten Hag, let's put it this way: Ten Hag's got a huge task ahead of him.
Yeah.
But he seems to be, according to what I know about him, and what I've read about him, and what I've seen other, pundits and stuff on TV say, he seems to be the type of person who can be able to do that. He should at least improve them. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I like Nottingham Forest right back, by the way.
Spence, number 2.
He's very good.
To us a new one in the FA Cup.
He certainly did.
Mm.
He made Tavares look like he ruined Tavares' Arsenal career, didn't he?
Effectively, in 45 minutes, half an hour, actually, wasn't it?
That was the game that broke him.
Mm.
No, he looks very, very good, this Spence. I could see him doing a job for us. Tomiyasu's good, but...
Yeah, but a backup sort of build protege to Tomiyasu.
Yeah.
And eventually competition, maybe. Oh, dear.
Do you reckon we'll get Gnabry? I don't.
It's unlikely.
It's too obvious, It's just too.
Yeah.
It's too obvious. He wouldn't do that, would he? It's just too obvious. A good player like Gnabry, wouldn't go for him.
And what's
He's
it
only on. According to reports, are only asking, but was it 35 to 40 million?
Yeah.
Because he's only got 2 years left on his deal or whatever.
Well, he's got 12 months left as of the end of June.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer, as you say, but
it's a no-brainer. Really,
Arsenal don't do no-brainers, no matter who's recruiting. But this is no matter what happened. I've been saying for a few weeks. No matter what happened in terms of how the season ended for us, there was issues that needed addressing in terms of our squad, not just depth but experience.
Mm.
And that's where we need not just the areas we need to address, but bring some experience into more experience in that can get this young team to get over the line, lead them, and not take a bit of weight off the bloody likes of Saka and all that.
Yeah, well, it's exactly how Gnabry can rotate with Saka, or you can put Saka maybe or Gnabry, either one of them out left. And
Martinelli down the middle or Smith Rowe.
Gnabry can come in and provide a lot of guidance for those younger players, and get rid of Pepe. Sell him. That's going to pay for a lot of his transfer fee.
Mm.
And it's a no-brainer, really, if you think of replacing Pepe with Gnabry.
Yeah,
that's just a complete no-brainer.
Good. McDermott's there. Fucking ref watch twat. Never goes against whatever controversial comes, any controversy comes alongside on a week-to-week basis and Premier League on ref watch. The ref got it right.
Yeah,
we said he was wrong a minute ago.
They just back each other up. That's all they ever do. Like you say, even the TV refs. It's like a union, isn't it? It's like they're backing up the union.
The best mates club.
Exactly.
And this is where the PGMO and the FA are fucking up, because obviously John Marshall after today is his last game fully. You've got him retired. He's retiring? Dean's retired, and there's someone else who's been forced into retirement as well. Well, instead of letting them just retire and go away, they're going to put them in charge of VAR. Oh, no. You're just asking for trouble.
Yep.
But again, I've said it for people, yourself and others are probably sick of saying it, but until the main prick pisses off and steps down from leading this load of crap, the guy that fucked us in the 50th game.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see now, isn't it? Because I think there's a total of 4 or 5 referees now that are either retiring or not taking part for the Premier League next season.
Yeah.
So that means there's 4 or 5 new referees coming in now.
Yeah,
to take their place. Yeah. So let's see what they're like. Hopefully there'll be an improvement, because I don't think it could be much worse, to be honest.
Oh yeah, bloody hell. I mean, Stuart Atwell's he's got to be next to go. I'm sorry, how he's a ref, I don't know. Not just from an Arsenal perspective either, but in general, I've watched him in neutral games, and it's just like he's so poor.
Yeah.
He was the one that gave it. Remember that goal scored in the Championship years ago against Watford and Reading, and the ball went wide of the post, but he gave the goal.
That's right.
And now he's a Premier League referee.
Oh God! Wow. I know what you mean. We can hope he's hopefully improved since then, but I know what you mean. It doesn't exactly, fill you with confidence, does it?
No. Oh God. But yeah, it can't. Surely this new crop that we brought in for the next season, they can't be any worse than what we've had.
No, that's what I was saying.
Last 20 odd years.
Hopefully, at least they can't do any worse, right? Because it's been absolutely rock bottom what we've been getting the last couple of seasons.
And just look in shape as well. What is it with our refs in England? They look, for professional referees, they look so out of shape.
Yeah, it's true. They're older and more out of shape. That's right.
Nine more minutes of this bullshit, thank God. Oh, did you know Jordan Rose still played? I didn't know until a couple of weeks ago he was still playing.
No, I didn't know that.
I think it was at the first leg of their playoff game. And it was like, oh, he's on. I was like, oh, I thought he fucking retired.
Yeah.
Because after he went to Norwich, after leaving Celtic and all that, I never heard of him.
Exactly.
Oh dear. You watch though, I was saying earlier, whoever comes up like last year from this game, their first game of the season will be away. I mean, will be at home, sorry, to Arsenal. I guarantee it. You sods fucking law. Going by this game, actually, I wouldn't mind whoever comes up based on this game.
No, I mean, they're both very, very poor. I mean, Nottingham Forest has been better than Huddersfield, but Nottingham Forest haven't looked great either.
No. Because they're sort of coasted with the game.
Well, Huddersfield have made it quite easy for them. They're just sitting back. Yeah. Not really posing any threat.
It was Huddersfield that scored the goal. Huddersfield player that put the ball in there. It was like, bloody hell. Oh dear.
Well, my stream's died. Not that I missed anything anyway, but
No, you ain't missed nothing. Trust me. Okay, that's more of a pen actually than the first incident, especially in the way you play on. Oh my god. Apparently, kind of saying all refs got the good old mentality going down the pub after the game. Well, that doesn't it? That explains
Yeah.
the beer guts.
It seems like it, doesn't it? The refs have that sort of old school persona about them, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, my stream just won't start again. So what's
Listen much,
what's the
Josh.
time now on your feed?
84-23.
Are Huddersfield attacking, or are they just still sitting
The
back?
game's currently stopped because the Forest goalkeeper is claiming a groin injury, so he's been getting some treatment.
Oh god.
That's been for the last 2 minutes. So God, this has got to be the worst playoff one I've watched in years.
It's absolutely. I mean, I haven't seen it for the last few minutes now, but it's everything I've seen until then has been absolute dross.
I genuinely thought the goal before half time would kick this game to life, but
Yeah.
it's worse than the first half.
I thought that's it. Huddersfield have got to attack now.
Yeah,
And Huddersfield have basically just played low block and counter attack here and there tactics still.
yeah.
All right, let's see if I can get the stream going again now.
So it's so scrappy. It's so poor in quality. Because the game's on Sky Sports itself. The likes of Sky and all that be like, oh, what a fantastic game! Da 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 da, end-to-end drama and all that crap. Oh my god.
Yeah, of course, they want to sell their product, don't they?
Yeah, no, still. As I say that, I don't know if it was Huddersfield. It's got the ball and just hoofed it over the bar, basically. Like took a shot from like 40 yards out from goal.
You got to do something special from there, haven't you? So who are the other teams again? It was Fulham and who have already qualified? Fulham
Bournemouth.
and Bournemouth, right?
Yeah. I think Bournemouth, it's Scotty Parker in charge of Bournemouth, so I think they'll be favourites to come down. I think they'll be in amongst the relegation scrap next season as well, both of them.
Yeah.
And going by this game, no matter whoever, as it says, it's Forest, obviously. Going by this game, though, it could be a potential where we see all three going up, going back down again.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Easily for the goalkeeper. Oh, he's gone down again. He's going to go off. Not the Forest goalkeeper.
Is he? Right, that's not good for him.
They're making us up now. We've all got fucking Holmes of Huddersfield kicking off, or because obviously, the substitute come on for Goldie.
Yeah.
Chambers, they basically literally just limping over instead of going off and around the corner of the pitch.
Yeah.
He's basically just going across the pitch, basically. Like, no, waste more time.
Yeah. Stream is dead. Dead as a dildo. Dildo, I mean.
You're spending too much time with Brownie.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no. You could have said a lot worse, let's be honest. Fucking hell, 6 more minutes of this bullshit.
Oh, it's worse than watching paint dry, isn't it? It has been. I mean, I'm glad I haven't had the stream on, to be honest.
Yeah, fucking 6 more minutes of injury time, basically.
God, absolute shite.
Looking ridiculous.
It's a shame, isn't it? Because you get to that, and I've seen, various playoff finals have been a bit like that. I'm talking championship now. Playoff finals have been a bit like that, where, obviously there's so much at stake, isn't there? I mean, it's a huge, benefit to get into the Premier League financially and everything, So what happens is you'll get two teams that are nervous of losing. So they'll be more cautious and sit back more and won't take so many chances. And it's a shame when you tactically set up like that, because for the neutral, okay, you're thinking you're trying to do the best you can, what you think is right to do. But for the neutral, it's just terrible. It's like you'll see two teams who just don't really want to score a goal, because they're scared of opening up, to their opponents.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stefan, that's a Freudian slip there, talking about old Freud. Bloody hell. Dead as a dildo instead of a dodo. Bloody hell, that was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, but I was about to say, did you see all the videos that came out last night after the game about the
I saw some of them.
Police spray, basically.
Yeah, French police are terrible. They just go full riot. They just go full anti-riot mode, because that's what they used to in Paris.
Yeah.
They used to riot. So
especially in the last few years. Yeah,
they won't ask any question. They'll just give you tear gas. They'll spray tear gas on you. That's what they do. They don't ask any questions.
What was it? The video went out on Sky put out themselves. It was like there were the fans waiting to come in for the 20,000 fans waiting to get in.
Yeah,
there were 2 turnstiles up. They're waiting there, not kicking off or anything like that. And literally, a French police officers come over and start spraying again.
Yeah,
and it's just like, the fuck.
Nice.
Again, he's your say the French. What was it? Italy are known for it as well.
Nice, they're terrible.
Things in town, they have a habit of attacking our fans.
They're terrible. They really do go into attack mode. When they shouldn't. There's no cause for it.
Yeah,
and they do it, and it's terrible because they got prejudice against us, the French. They hate us. They think we're all hooligans. It's all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Chris has just said, have you seen the Everton coach prank? Yeah, that's epic. If that's real, if that's a real prank, that is epic. Absolutely epic.
I have no sympathy for the Liverpool fans. If that's genuine and they fell for that, I have no sympathy for them.
If you can't work it out when you see the driver is set up as Richard Arlison, I mean, if you're that thick, you can't see that. I mean, come on.
That's your own fucking fault.
And then waiting for 6 hours.
Not
You're not
or
trying to get
anyone,
something resolved, within 6 hours.
And if that is Jim, there's a group of Everton fans a bit more well off than they were beforehand. Just a tad.
It's epic. It's absolutely epic. That was in that TikTok or whatever, is it that fat Liverpool fan bird who's is doing the rounds now, It's
Also, as part of the work, I think she was meant to be on that
film
coach,
herself there at the bus stop. Oh, already, going to Paris, blah blah, just waiting to get picked up. And then another video. Well, the bus didn't come today. Blah blah blah. Don't ever use innovative coaches or whatever they called it. They called themselves.
He's like, oh well, call me a fucking river.
Yeah,
could happen to a nicer fan base. That sort of shithouse you.
Oh, imagine doing that to Spurs fans. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? That would be absolutely awesome. And then you got Michael Owen, who basically, I mean, what a bitter twat he is, honestly.
Yeah.
He just couldn't admit defeat. He said, "Oh, Liverpool are the real champions." What?
Yeah, I forgot Mark Owen. I forgot they lifted the trophy, not Real Madrid. I forgot they switched shirts for the presentation.
Bloody hell.
Dumbass. That's what you get when the broadcasters go so heavy-handed and in employing these ex-Liverpool players to be pundits.
Oh yeah, they're so biased. It's unbelievable. It really is.
Seconds away now. Last attack, hopefully.
Let me guess. Huddersfield aren't attacking.
Oh, they're attacking. It's just a hit and hope cross basically went out.
Oh yeah.
But that's it. 6 minutes of up now, so just wait for the ref to blow the whistle. The Huddersfield fans are that pissed off they're already leaving. The ones that did turn up.
Oh.
They're not even waiting.
Well, it was not a very good display from them today, was it?
No. There we go. Game over. Forest or Premier League club.
Oh, well done, Forest. Nottingham Forest up in the Premier League again. I suppose they're celebrating now.
Yeah, all the players on the pitch have got running over to their fans. And yeah, exactly like you say, rightly so in that sense. Celebrating something they had something unique to them as a club. They're going to make the most of it. They are back in the Premier League after 23 years out of it. But they
reckon it's worth 100 million?
At least, yeah.
It's worth an extra 100 million for the club. So you can imagine for a club that's probably been struggling financially for a while. 100 million. That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. And long term, as you say, if they utilise them finances right, that could literally be huge for that club.
I mean, 100 million is basically quite short term in terms of the extra revenue, the extra prize money, TV money, all of that. So, they reckon it's about an extra 100 you get quite quickly out of that. And then, like you say, if they use that properly, then of course it's all what's on top you can build on that. Through extra sponsorship, extra. You're a Premier League team, you can get more. Obviously, you can get more out of advertising and all of that, can't you? So yeah, they should be able to work with that.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely.
But they're going to have to improve on their squad because at the moment, the team doesn't look good enough, to be honest.
No, but I was about to say, going on this game that we've seen today, they are going to have to use the recruitment system wisely and literally strengthen in depth big time. Add some proper quality to that team.
Yeah,
that's going to benefit them because you can tell this is the Championship team. And now, obviously, now a Premier League team technically, obviously, but in terms of the actual squad itself, they need some proper Premier League quality to help them stay afloat, basically.
Exactly.
Give them a fighting chance of staying up.
Because right now, from what I was seeing today, it just didn't look good enough. Not for 38 games.
No.
I mean, of course, they're going to win an odd few games here and there, but you know, they're also going to struggle.
Oh dear.
Well, Stefan's just saying, funny how clubs get relegated from the Prem often suffer financial problems. Well, because it becomes a snowball effect. You know, if you stay out of the Premier League for a long time, you know, for several seasons, you lose so much, don't you? Not in terms of just the normal revenue you're losing, but sponsorship dries up or changes. You can't take the same amounts. You get less people interested in the sponsorship and advertising. You know, you're generally not reaching a larger fan base or getting into new fans. You know, it's got a lot of knock-on effect. You know, and of course with the decrease in revenue, you know, you're not going to be able to pay your same players. You know, you have to sell them. You know, you're going to have to get in not players that are not as good. So it has that knock-on effect, that snowball effect that goes the wrong way. You know, unless you can bounce right back up into the Premier League, it becomes a problem, and that's just the way it is, because the Premier League is that much more lucrative than the Championship. That's just the way it is. That's the way it's become. It's not just through the FA and that as well. It's also because as a spectacle, the Premier League is a global phenomenon. You know, the Championship really isn't.
No, yeah. Oh. Especially sort of clubs like you say, Forest, 23 years. We've had Pompey been out for like 10 or so years, whatever it is. But them sort of clubs, Charlton, haven't been a Premier League club since 2007. Look where they are now.
Yeah. Look at Leeds. Look how far Leeds dropped.
Yeah, 16 years it took them to get back, and they almost
exactly.
And it's like you say, if you don't make that immediate return in the first season or two, you become part of the furniture and you sort of stagnate as a club. And
exactly, because I think some of the clubs, I think you saw it with Villa, you saw it with Norwich, you've seen it with other clubs recently that have had to take that step down. They've managed to keep hold of a lot of their players to try and get straight back up, and then if they do that, they manage to get straight back up. They keep their players. But if they stay down for 2-3 seasons, then they lose all those players as well. And then it just becomes harder and harder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Great to see Forest back. Forest is a big club, and you know it's one of those old school, you know, traditional big clubs you like to see in the top league. So for me, you know, of course, seeing Nottingham Forest come back is great. You know, it's to remember. You know, when I grew up watching football, you know, Nottingham Forest were a big club in the top level. So, yeah, it's interesting to see him back.
No, exactly, and that's why I'm one of those. I like to see different teams, not see the same team come up, down. So, as a neutral, I appreciate things like this more because obviously they say the 23 fucking 1999. It's the first time in this century they're going to be a Premier League club. That's how long it's been.
Yeah.
I just turned 10 when they got relegated. That's how long it's been. But obviously Brian Clough, even before I was born, they were a big club because of what Brian Clough had done throughout his career and how he got them to a certain stage, winning 2 European titles and things like that, winning league titles.
Yep. So, what Brian Clough did was incredible, and he'll always have that legacy there. Unfortunately, he went on a bit too long, didn't he? And things went a bit pear-shaped. You know, as he retired at the same time they got relegated. But since then, I mean, of course, they still retain their reputation as a huge club, and It's great to see them back again. You know, they've always had some decent players and they've got a decent setup and all of that. And it'd be interesting to see how they get on in the Premier League. You have to see what they do to their squad in terms of transfers and things like that. What squad they end up with, but right at the moment, you look at what they've got now. It doesn't look good enough, does it? What they have now, but hopefully now with the money coming in and everything, all the extra stuff they can pull together now through being promoted, they'll hopefully probably go out there and get a few decent players.
Hopefully, yeah, because obviously you'd like to see him make a fight of it at least next season, not just we're here, but we're going to sort of give you the points sort of thing, be like whipping boys of this league. Because with this current crop of players, and I think there'll be a few Forest fans sort of probably tuning in, not like me saying this, but this current squad, they aren't going to get a lot of points to this squad over the course of the season. Whereas, this is why I'm saying they need to go and not just strengthening depth, but actually add some Premier League quality.
Yeah.
Even if it's some like experienced players and some proven young players as well. So it's like a mixture. Use the loan system to your best of your ability as well.
Yeah, I mean, a great way of doing it is you can get like some top talent from various clubs, on loan, and just use the top talent. Use them for all they're worth. At least that's free, and then try and build on that with a few experienced players. But they also got the problem of now they're in the shop window. Let's put it that way. Also, you got to wonder, will they be able to keep hold of their own players? I mean, that Spence, that right back, he's bloody good. I'm pretty sure we're not the only fans looking at him saying, "Wow, it'd be nice if we could have him."
No, exactly.
And I'm sure he could be. I'm not sure what kind of value he's got now, but it's got to be. He's probably got to be one of their best players.
Yeah. No, 100%. And he also get some look at the free agents that are up for being available that are Premier League proven. Look into some of them maybe.
Exactly. Get some who's still got some legs left on them, and
even if it is just to have a voice in the dressing room of that ilk of having their Premier League knowledge of getting you through games. Basically, you need them.
It's the experience, it's the wisdom, and it's like you say, it's that leadership. That need that as well, and mix that with some top talent you can get on loan. Some good players who inject some ability into the team on loan. That's that could work, but we'll see how they do.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Finally, after having put ourselves through that bullshit.
It was a terrible game. It was an absolutely appalling game for the neutral.
Oh, dear.
Unless you're a Forest or a Huddersfield fan, that game was absolutely atrocious.
Yeah. And right now, I don't think the Forest fans care. Right now.
No, of course. I mean, from what I saw today, Nottingham Forest were the better team. They were the team that had the ball. They were, in possession the most. They were attacking the most. They created more chances from what I saw than what Huddersfield did. Huddersfield basically just parked the bus for the first half. I mean, it's so Nottingham Forest definitely deserved it from what I see, but there was a lot of bad passing, a lot of bad touches. There wasn't much skill on display from either team. The general level just wasn't that good. And I'm sure, like you say, nerves has probably played a bit of a role in that as well. But it just didn't look top level at all, And for the neutral, it wasn't great, was it?
It wasn't, but it is what it is. And as I say, welcome back after 23 years, Nottingham Forest. Welcome back. Hopefully,
welcome back, Nottingham Forest. Welcome back. They, I like seeing them in the Premier League. I really do.
They're a big club and they deserve to be the top flight. They're a sleeping giant. They went through that 23 years of being just a Championship League One-ish club, basically. And people forget as well. Obviously, today's not what's happening now. Start of the season, they were when Steve Cooper came in, they had 1 point out of 9.
Yeah.
The turnaround he's done there to get him in this position in the first place is phenomenal. But to get him promoted in the same season they're on the verge of being relegated. That's something else. And you've got to take massive props to him as well.
Yeah.
And obviously getting them players. I think we've mentioned it before. I think that the FA Cup run against obviously us. I mean, it was our second team, but still us, Leicester City, and Liverpool respectively. I think them performances gave not just him but the players he had the belief that if they were to push on in the league and get promoted, they could cause a bit of an upset in the Premier League in terms of actually causing a few upset results here every now and then.
Yeah.
But as we say, they do now need to go out and use the market to the best of their ability, free agent wise, loan wise, and splash the cash. They've got the cash, splash it, but splash it responsibly and in the right areas. Don't just do it for the sake, because obviously we've seen over the last few years when Fulham came up the first time round a couple of years back, they spent over 100 mil just on players, and just for the sake of it, just because they had the money.
Yeah.
This is where Forest need to sort of take heed of them sort of mistakes that other clubs have made and go, no, we're going to do it this way. Get the right players in and the right players in at the right time.
Yeah.
Along with what they've got, and they've got a fighting chance next season.
Yep.
And people need to come on to this as well. The City ground where they play, obviously their home games and all that. That's a proper old school ground. So the pitch is on top of the stands on top of the pitch. It's very intense. The fans are going to make that so intense. It's not going to be easy for next season.
Yeah, they should try and take advantage of that, make that their fortress. That's what they should try and do.
And I think that's another reason why I'm actually sort of happy that they're coming up, because again the old school ground, because so many of these modern, obviously the Emirates, West Ham and all that, they're so far away from the pitch.
Yeah,
all these modern stadiums are so far away. Whereas that, as I say, there's lots of the city ground and all that. You're literally on top of it.
Yeah,
and the fans can make it, as you say, a fortress, very intense and hard to get anything out of. They can use that to their advantage. You never know.
Exactly. Yeah, they should try and make it as much of an advantage as possible. Absolutely. See Steve Denham in the chat there.
Yeah,
Steve's
back in
it.
it.
How you doing?
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's good to see Forest back. They're one of those teams you sort of want to be in the Premier League because you're used to seeing them there from before. I'm talking previously now.
Yeah.
They were a top level, top flight team for many, many years. You know.
No, exactly. And people talk about Leeds and all that, but
look at Blackburn. Look where they are now.
Yeah, Blackburn as well. Bloody hell. They're looking for the major as well.
Sunderland, they when they slid out of the Premier League, they just went on a free fall, didn't they?
Just a tad, yeah. They just recovered this season by getting me promoted to the Championship by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah.
I think now. But yeah, not just got Charlton, Portsmouth, Ipswich. They've all these ex-Premier League clubs we talk about. They've all gone through that slippery slope. The Leeds, as I say, Leeds took 16 years. They went down, and people thought they'd come straight back up.
Yeah, but
they struggled, and the old ownerships and all that run them into the ground in the first place just didn't help things.
Right.
And we'll see what happens at Norwich as well every year. We're too good for the Championship, but we're not good enough and that's another thing that Forest need to sort of take heed of. You might be too good for the Championship, but look at fucking Norwich. They go up and down. Well, that's not a good thing either. Financially, that's not a good model to have, because it'll come back and bite you on the arse, because the players that keep going up and down will get fed up with it and go to a club that's stable.
Yeah, and also the financially, like you say, it's very difficult, because when you're planning your finances, your budgets, you're obviously planning on a Premier League revenue, Premier League income, and all of a sudden, when that becomes a Championship instead of the Premier League, all of a sudden, financially, you're going to struggle a lot more.
Yeah, Stefan, before you got things up, Stefan's saying crazy having two-time European Cup winners in League One and Championship, as it's same as Ipswich.
Yeah, it's crazy. crazy how that the history there with those teams.
When Niall Quinn left London, they went to pot. He was so important in the club. Yeah, exactly. And the people took over from him, like took over his shares and all that. Didn't have a clue. Fucking just run that club into the ground as much as they could, basically, but to the point where they couldn't recover. And it's only now that they've obviously got promoted this season via the playoffs, but yeah, it's. What was it? I'm trying to think. Oldham, was it Oldham? Got relegated the other week.
Oldham, yeah, they were in the Premier League when it started.
Yeah, they're now the first
Oldham.
Premier League club to be no longer a Football League club now.
Swindon were there, remember? Swindon were there for a
Yeah.
season or two.
Bloody hell.
Even we shouldn't really mention it with who we know, but even Cardiff were up for a season, weren't they?
Yeah.
Bloody Cardiff.
It took them like 20 attempts, but they eventually got there.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Even the best team in Wales, hush. Swansea got up for a couple of years.
Yeah, that's right. And they had that striker that was was it Michu?
Michu, they had who the other one? The fucking guy.
He was a striker. He was very good, and all of a sudden he just disappeared, didn't he? Just fell off the face of the earth.
Quite literally, just disappeared off the face of the earth, and then Swansea suffered for it.
Yeah,
because they came up, and I think it's either straight away it got him, or like the second season they brought him in, and he was like fresh air to them, like fitted in and playing. It was like scoring goals for fun, basically. Then out of nowhere, he just fell off a cliff.
Yeah, Michu. Just all of a sudden, his abilities just—I think he got injured, something, wasn't it? I think he got an injury, and then after that injury, he was just never ever anywhere near what he was. Yeah, even Cardiff.
Even Cardiff, yeah. Even Cardiff, well, Cardiff City.
Cardiff.
I mean, even Derby County, they've been up and down, haven't they, in the Premier League over the years? But now they're obviously League One next season.
Derby,
but still,
yeah, Derby. That's right, old Derby.
Another one of her clubs.
The old baseball ground when they was there.
Oh yeah, bloody hell, yeah. That's the only thing today that'll kill pretty much any Derby fan out there. Will be spitting their dummy because like they've seen their club be put through the turmoil basically for the last 12 months by the EFL and all that. They've been relegated, and then the next door, the rivals, the team they hate the most, has just been promoted to the Premier League again. It's like, hi.
Can't be easy.
No, Jesus Christ. Oh dear, but it is what it is. But yeah, no, wrap things up, guys.
Yeah, that's it.
It's all done and dusted. We've had the trophy. The trophy we were chatting away as well. But yeah, you've had to deal with nearly 2.5 hours of me complaining about a football game. So if it been good, I wouldn't have been complaining. But it was crap.
It was rubbish. It really was. It wasn't really worth talking about, to be honest.
No. It's saying it all at full time. We're just talking about the positives of Forest being back, basically,
yeah,
and all that, and how they can sort of address things and sort themselves out to be ready for what's coming. So yeah, I mean the fixtures now are going to be out on the 16th of June, so look out for that. I might do a stream for that. I might do if I'm around. Yeah, I'm trying to think now. In terms of content wise, I'm going to have a chat with Brownie to try and sort out the code that he wants to do with me over the next couple of weeks. Look into that on his channel, so look out for that. In terms of other stuff and bits and pieces, and anything newsworthy, I'll do stuff on the channel, on this channel for I'll do that. If it's not worth doing, I won't do it, obviously. But yeah, might even do the old kit reviews when the old kits come out, maybe. Right, what we used to do back then, a couple of years back. Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, I don't know what to say in terms of content. Just play it by ear now, day by day. Yep. See what happens, and yeah,
off season now.
Yeah, take a few weeks respite before pre-season gets underway again. But yeah, enjoy. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your morning, weekend, morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world, obviously. And yeah, any Nottingham Forest fans, congratulations! Enjoy the moment, and
Well done for us.
we will see you next season as a Premier League club for the first time in 23 years.
Yep.
You're not getting 3 points from us. You might have good form against us in the FA Cup. You're not getting 3 points. Go away. But until then, guys, as always, up the Arsenal. Come on, you
Cheers, guys. See you later, guys.